This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Mr. Patrick Salia is a journalist, with the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, and he joins us this morning to speak on the case of former President Ernest Koroma, who has been permitted to travel to Nigeria for medical reasons. Mr. Salia, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the conversation.
Stephen, thank you for your audience to join us too.
Right. So to jump into this, Mr. Koroma is facing charges of treason in Sierra Leone. Can you give us a quick overview of the case as it has progressed so far?
Well, so far, since he was charged for about 4 counts of treason, misprision, and other legal cases, he has made only about 2 appearances in court. The second was his lawyers. Okay, the first was when his lawyers actually sought bail for him at the High Court. He was standing trial, or is still standing trial at the Magistrate Court, but the Magistrate Court does not have the powers to grant bail on his allegations. So his lawyers, on his first appearance in court, ran straight to court and sought bail for him. So the condition was they give him 10 individuals to visit him, members, party officials, and 1 or 2 professionals, medical and likewise, visit his home where he was kept under house arrest by the state. So on the 17th, fast forward, on the 17th, when he was due to make another appearance, his lawyers went straight to High Court to seek variation of that bail because his Dr. Russell had put out about 10 health conditions which he said the former president, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, was being treated for, and his health condition was. So that medical report that was prepared by his doctor, Dr. Russell, was what was used by his lawyers to go for that bail variation at the High Court before Justice Taylor. So the bail condition was granted for him to travel out of the country precisely to Nigeria for medical attention.
Now, I apologize for interrupting you. Did Mr. Koroma present any signs of ill health prior to the application for this medical vacation to Nigeria?
Well, physically, outwardly, not exactly to the public. But his doctor, Dr. Russell, who presented that report, said he has been enduring this, including diabetes. He has been enduring some of these health conditions for some time now. And if he's kept under that strict condition, it might deteriorate and whatever. But publicly, outwardly, he has not demonstrated any of deteriorating health condition. Ernest Bai Koroma, former president, is a man who has been seen by the public to be a very physical person who has been physically active in physical exercise. He plays squash. He treks miles back from his house to certain villages and back to his house in the northern capital of Makeni. He treks some distance away from his house. So he's been seen as that kind of physically
healthy
person.
Right.
Yes, physically fit and healthy person.
Now, at the same time, were there treatment options available in Sierra Leone for this former president?
Well, during the press conference held, organized or called by the Ministry of Justice to update journalists about how the case has gone so far, that was the question I put forward to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and his entire team. But they refused to ask the president in his address about 2 days later after that departure of former president. The president, in his state address to the nation, did say at his conclusion that the attorney Minister of Justice, argued vehemently before Justice Taylor during that bill variation argument. So when I asked the Minister of Justice what was that vehement argument he put up, and whether the argument included an alternative for the doctors to rather travel from Nigeria to come to Sierra Leone, he did not answer. Neither any member of his team did answer to that question. Remember, he has served as president for 10 or more years, 10 years or months, but he has not been able to put the health system of Sierra Leone in proper order. However, he brought in the free healthcare initiative, but the health system shambles. So that is the big question a lot of people have been asking, and the debate still continues whether these leaders of Sierra Leone continue to micromanage the system, continue to break the system down. So by the time they leave office, they are able to get into that same system and get away with whatever justice or injustice. So this has been the situation and the arguments and debates, especially in public fora, those social media platforms. So this is the state so far. What is expected by the court order is expected to return for the next date of 6th March. But the question now is whether he would actually return to Sierra Leone, having already been granted that leave to go to Nigeria, because already ECOWAS had sought leave for him to go to Nigeria weeks before even that bill variation was sought by his lawyers. The ECOWAS president was here, President Macky Sall of Nigeria, President Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana came to Sierra Leone. Well, it was believed that they came to seek pardon on his behalf from President Julius Maada Bio. So people are now...
Right, Mr. Sali, I do apologize. We're experiencing some network difficulty in our communication with you. You indicated that the president of the ECOWAS, which is Dr. Omar Touré, as well as the president of Senegal, have tried to get Mr. Koroma some form of exile, whether or not he faces these charges. What is the reaction of the Sierra Leonean people to this speculation of a possible exile for former President Koroma?
Well, I can tell you in Sierra Leone soul whether ex-President Koroma will return to Sierra Leone, because they are now drawing the nexus or connecting the dots between that visit of the ECOWAS heads of states, President Akufo-Addo of Ghana and President of Senegal, and the ECOWAS president visit to Sierra Leone a couple of weeks almost before that bill variation or that order for him to travel out of the country was granted, because actually ECOWAS had actually sought an exile to Nigeria, the same Nigeria where he has been given permission to go for medical treatment, was the same Nigeria where the ECOWAS had sought exile for him. Question now among many Sierra Leoneans requiring answers the ex-president will actually return on the 6th or before to continue his treason trial before the courts here and face justice for that highest offense of the land, one of the highest offenses of the land. So it's a question now of wait and see among Sierra Leoneans, even though government officials who speak for the government are saying that regardless of whatever the situation, he will make it back and he will face justice. Remember, the former president is not only facing justice for the treason trial of the November 26, 2023 incidents in Freetown, where there was breach of security and looting of the armory in Freetown, but also he actually ordered by the Court of Appeal to pay $135,000 refund to the state, money he was said to have illegally ordered or approved in loan while he was president of the country, among several other cases of corruption and abuse of office that he was alleged committed during his tenure as president. That immunity of a president was very recently on 20th December, stripped of him by the Court of Appeal. So he's been left as a naked statesman, or as a naked former head of state before the populace, which he once served.
Mr. Salia, thank you very much for speaking with us on this conversation this morning. Our guest is Mr. Patrick Salia. He is a journalist with the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. He joined us to speak on the medical visit of former President Ernest Koroma to Nigeria. The former president is facing charges of treason in his home country.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM.